always thought he's the best in his generation. I'm the best in my generation. If you're not a legend, you don't belong here.
We are just moments away here at the Staples Center again. A year that by any definition has not been normal. Well, tonight is definitely not a normal combat sports event, and Israel Adesanya, the undefeated UFC middleweight champion, I was in my early 20s when these two were in their primes, and seeing what they were able to accomplish. Obviously, it's an exhibition. Obviously, they are both over 50. Temper the expectations. They say if you don't expect nothing, you won't be disappointed. This is about curiosity. This is about nostalgia. This is about professional pride.
Yeah, 100%. This is, like you said, nostalgia. Mike is one of those guys, like in his era. Same with Roy. In his era, if you were alive, if you were there witnessing it happen, you can't even describe it. It's something that was just beautiful. It was hard to, like, I was a kid, you know, and I'm a guy who still to this day, whenever, example, you at the PI, the UFC PI, if you see Mike walking around, everyone stops and looks.
Well, he transcended the sport.
More than the sport. He is Mike Tyson. And same with Roy Jones. He was in his, he's the guy that would play a basketball game like hours before his fight.
Eric Lucas, the only athlete to ever participate in two big sports events in one day. Now, Ray, you came back a few times, albeit with mixed results, right?
Yes.
Now, here we are. Mike Tyson, 15 years removed from his ignominious defeat against Kevin McBride. Roy Jones has been active, but hasn't been active for over 3 years, or close to 3 years. Why do fighters keep coming? But why do you come back? Is it all about the Benjamins, Ray?
For me, it's really hard to articulate unless you're in my shoes.
Well, put yourselves in Mike and Roy's shoes and compare yourselves.
Well, for me, thank God, I didn't come back from
We can do this all night, I guess.
I came back
Sorry, guys.
because I wanted to fight Marvin Hagler. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but fight Terry Norris, Hector Macho Camacho. I mean, I pushed the envelope too much without being ready here and here.
But you were in your 30s, and these guys are now in their 50s. And while it is an exhibition, do you feel that it's going to remain so? I mean, we're talking Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., two guys with healthy egos, a lot of pride.
You said exhibition?
I did?
No, there's no such thing as an exhibition. Even when I'm sparring with my brother Roger, I don't spar. I try to knock
Well,
his
what
head
is
off.
your definition of hard sparring? That's what the California State Athletic Commission has decreed this match. They want them to go at it, but not necessarily hurt each other. Come on.
They have no control over that. They are going to hurt each other. Hate to say it.
Israel, what do you, I mean, you've been very vocal about the same thing. There's a big difference in terms of, a lot of people, casual sports fans, lapsed boxing fans, with everything going on in the world, need a break from, I guess, reality. This is surreality. What about this fight tonight? What do you expect?
Honestly, I expect them to go at each other. Like I said, this is thriller. This ain't vanilla. I don't know what this exhibition thing we're talking about is, but once someone gets touched, egos, like Mike said, the gods of war have summoned him again. They've summoned him again. That's why, like Mr. Leonard said, in here, he's had that. Same with Roy. They have that. They're fighters through and through. It's like riding a bike. Once you're a fighter, you can't let go of that. You have to be able to, though.
All right, let's take a look at the illustrious numbers for both Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. And again, we talked about the age. We talked about the fact that they have been, well, throughout their careers, involved in so many highs and some lows as well. And what sticks out for you, Israel, when you look at the numbers, that winning streak definitely is impressive.
For me, it's just a record. Like, for me, I just see knowledge passed down. Just, this is crazy. These guys have been around. They're old dogs, and they still got some new tricks up their sleeve.
And their knockout streaks lengthy, 19 for Tyson, 17 for Roy Jones. And yeah, y'all must have forgot. I mean, Roy Jones Jr., obviously a man known for his boxing, his creative offense, much like you, Israel. But he also possessed some pop. the uppercuts, the Glenn Kelly. I mean, that was a posterizing of a fighter when he had his hands down, popped Glenn Kelly. So let's see, Ray, again, final words in terms of what is the realistic expectations tonight?
You know, when the fight was first announced, I said Mike Tyson, but I didn't include Roy Jones Jr. Anything can happen here. I can't call it.
What would be a success for you?
For me, if they both show their true heart and even go more than 4 rounds and show true skill, that would be a big win for everyone.
And I think it's an advantage for both, but for Mike Tyson especially, 2-minute rounds. They were supposed to wear headgear, and, well, if you go back to the rematch with Evander Holyfield, maybe Roy Jones Jr. wishes they were wearing headgear tonight, but it's they're not going to be wearing headgear.
Jason, good cough going.
Maybe you and I can do that.
Maybe you can do that, and I'll call it.
Here. Man's about that action.
All right, so here we go. We are just moments away. Legends Only League, the first night, and here's Mike Tyson's resume, and yeah, it speaks for itself. Started his career with 19 consecutive knockouts, a ferocious blast, a fire hose blast of brutality. Became the youngest heavyweight champion in history when he defeated Trevor Berbick, was the 86 and 1988 Fighter of the Year. His prime really between 86 and 91. He was the undisputed heavyweight champion for 3 years. Look at that. Half of his 44 knockouts come in the opening round, and, well, a night that he would, I'm sure, like to forget, quitting on the stool against Kevin McBride, saying that he had lost his love for boxing, but boxing has saved his life, and he is back, wanting to give back to humanity, wanting to give back to his family, wanting to give back to himself. And, of course, a lot of money for charity as well. Let's go now to Roy Jones Jr.'s. All right, and before we get that, let's talk a little bit more about this resume, Israel. Again, the power. The power.
That's the thing everyone always says. Even in my career, they keep saying the power. But power means shit if you can't get it to the target. But the guy, Mike Tyson, knows how to deliver that power to the target. He's got beautiful head movement. He knows how to get inside, great footwork, and deliver that power. And he's done it over and over again. Look at that, 22 or 44 KOs inside the first round. I won't be surprised if we see that here tonight.
Ray, you were an undisputed welterweight champion. Mike Tyson, an undisputed heavyweight champion. I mean, undisputed speaks for itself, my man. What is it like being at the top of the mountain?
Indescribable. Indescribable, but it's all about the purpose, the reason.
And we saw Tyson climb the mountain, but he ended up finding a cliff, a precipitous fall. But, hey, he's going to try to be as sharp as he can. If he's as sharp as a cliff edge, he might do well tonight as we, again, anticipate the main event here. And we've got, of course, Roy Jones Jr. We would love to take a look at.
Got knocked the fuck out.
Well.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
He was the fighter of the 90s, and a guy that just, I mean, this guy moved his hands like a magician.
I don't know why
Becoming the first
it's streaming like that.
154, and then claim a piece
My
of
phone's on a
heavyweight
fucking
crown.
tripod,
Middleweight champion to do so
horizontally,
in
so
100 years, and again, Olympic silver medalist Ray.
I don't know.
Gold medalist.
It is what it is,
Roy
though,
Jones Jr.
motherfuckers.
should
It's
have been a
free.
gold medalist, the worst decision in Olympic boxing history.
I actually cried when that happened. That was just so wrong.
All right, and Snoop Dogg rejoins us, and Snoop, Roy Jones Jr. spits a few bars as well. He's a man after your own heart with the rapping, but what about the rapping? He'll be doing
I don't know, man.
I mean, you got to look at his career.
I mean,
man in the 90s, just like, the music that was real effective in the 90s. So
I really don't know.
At the same time, so to see that he still got the
Probably
skill and
Tyson.
the will and the know-how, and to put his skills up against the great Mike Tyson, that says a lot, because Mike.
Roy Jones is a bad man, though, so I guess it's
I'm anxious to see what's going to happen.
whoever.
All right, bringing the OG Funk along with Roy Jones Jr., Snoop Dogg, and Israel.
Wish that guy wouldn't say
what
OG
about Roy
Funk.
Jones Jr. We've talked about throughout the night. The way that you have patterned some of your unorthodox creative offense. What is it? What bedazzled you the most about Roy Jones Jr. in his heyday?
For me, it's his confidence. he was so sure of himself. Mike had that as well, and Mike talked about that when he walked in the ring. But Mike had this confidence, this aura of invincibility. Like he just knew you can't rock with me. Like I'm gonna go in there and impose my will on you, like hands behind the back with James Toney. What's up? And then he copied him, dropped him down. These are iconic moments in combat sports history and highlights that are gonna live on and on and on forever. He might create another one tonight.
All right, well, we have a contact high in the building thanks to Snoop. And Snoop, there hopes to be a lot of contact tonight.
Thanks to Weed Maps, man. I followed the navigation on Weed Maps, man.
And speaking of cannabis, of course, Mike Tyson has had a legendary career. Snoop, talk about the influence of Iron Mike and why you're such a fan.
Man, Iron Mike Tyson is the epitome of what it means to be great, to come from nothing and become something. He was our hero. You know, we looked up to Sugar Ray, Muhammad Ali, and then it was Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was the new era of what they had laid down, you know, running with the baton, taking it to another level. So he represented the hood, he represented the turf that you could actually get up out of the hood and make it. So we really, you know, leaned on him and loved him for what he did. We supported him through his good times, bad times, and his comeback. So we always been there for Mike Tyson.
What did you think when this fight was first announced, Snoop? Did you think that the Indo was a little stronger than usual?
I was like, let me call Roy to make sure. You hear me? Are y'all sure? You sure?
And there, speaking of the devil himself, there's Roy Jones Jr. Again, just an incredible athlete. And Ray Leonard, of course, with some of the fastest hands in the sport. Roy Jones Jr. with dazzling hand speed, but it was just the creative offense, the unorthodox nature. And it's just incredible to see him making this
wearing
look
Kobe
now
and
at
Shaq
the age of
gloves?
51. He said it was a bucket list. He knows he's giving up the size, and he says, you know, you can criticize him all you want, you can make light of the fight, but he says, I'm going to be standing across Mike Tyson. This is bucket list stuff, Israel.
100%. This is something that dreams are made of. This is a fantasy fight, if you will. But it's not a fantasy. It's about to happen right now in front of us. And yeah, Roy, never count out an old dog. He's still got this tricks up his sleeve. And he's a guy that's a crafty veteran. I'm telling you, man, they say speed's the last thing. It's one of the first things that go when you get older. But he's a guy that still retained a little bit of that. He's not the same. His eyes aren't the same, like you said, but he's still got that pop in his punches and that delivery system that's super fast.
2020 continues to bring the improbable. Let's go to Michael Butler.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've been waiting for. Two legends in one ring. Coming to the ring first, the six-time world champion, Roy Jones Jr.
Y'all must have forgot. Get him, Roy. Eliminate anything else out the way. Real talk. Nigga, this is right. This ain't just talk. I'm ready to fight. I don't just talk. I'm more about to fight. I don't just bark. I'm back to take place. Rock with this call. Take off.
We're going to get the collapse, Snoop.
Man, we gotta get a collab. Boy, still got it. What do you mean?
He was a boxing virtuoso, and while he's released rap albums, he was pure jazz in the squared circle.
And now making his entrance to the ring, the former two-time heavyweight world champion, Iron Mike Tyson!
I saw Kobe's number, but then I saw, like, you know, the old school Shaq, like, grabbing the rim. You know what I'm talking about?
This is the most destructive fighter ever lived. She is the national star of Warlord Rip Your Heart Out. And guess what? I'm Mike Tyson. I'm Mike Tyson. I'm Mike Tyson.
The classic no socks, black trunks.
I was just looking at his feet.
Around
Were
his
you?
neck, and Mike Tyson 1 week removed from the 34-year anniversary where he defeated Trevor Burbick to become the youngest heavyweight champion. Looking to reclaim just a tiny, tiny piece of redemption.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem will be performed by our special guest, the Grammy Award-winning international recording superstar, singer, actor, producer, Neo.
He's got a nice voice.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I'm Mike Tyson.
From Staples Center in Los Angeles, California, USA, CES Boxing proudly presents the main event of the evening. 8 two-minute rounds of heavyweight boxing, featuring two of the greatest names in the history of the sport, as Triller brings us Tyson Jones, sanctioned by the California State Boxing Commission, Chairman John Carvelli, Executive Officer Andy Foster. The World Boxing Council, President Mauricio Sullivan, has assigned 3 former world champions to unofficially score this matchup. They are Chad Dawson, Christy Martin, and Vinny Paz, a.k.a. Vinny Pazienza. The referee in charge of the action will be Ray Corona. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the officials are ready. The fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So for the millions tuned in watching this live, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, wearing white and purple with gold, official weight 210 pounds. In 75 career fights, he has 66 victories, including 47 big wins by knockout. He's recognized as one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters in boxing history. From Pensacola, Florida, USA, the former middleweight world champion, former super middleweight world champion, the 2-time light heavyweight world champion, former WBU cruiserweight world champion, and the former heavyweight champion of the world, the future Hall of Fame legend, Roy Jones Jr. And across the ring, fighting out of the white corner, wearing his traditional black and officially weighing in at 220.4 pounds. In his career of 56 fights, he has 50 victories, including 44 knockouts. He was universally recognized as the baddest man on the planet. From Brownsville and the Catskills and Henderson, Nevada, USA, he is from the from the International Boxing Hall of Fame, presenting one of the most devastating heavyweight KO punchers of all time, the two-time heavyweight world champion, former undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
Let's go, fighters, 2 seconds. All right, gentlemen, I gave you the rules in there. 2 legends. Let's give them a good show. Touch gloves if you want. Boom.
November 28, 2020. Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr.
Man, you can feel the tension in this room. It's palpable.
8 2-minute rounds sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission.
Are you ready?
Bell in round 1, Ray Corona with a, pivotal task. The referee will have to really be on the ball. Mike Tyson expecting to come out as fast as possible.
You see what Roy's doing now? Roy has to do that the whole time.
Shit, go ahead, Roy.
Mike Tyson with a cavalcade of first-round knockouts going to the liver and upstairs with that left hook. And there's a little of that bobbing weaving, of course, Castamano teaching him the early intricacies of boxing, and Mike Tyson all over Roy Jones Jr. Snoop.
This shit like 2 of my uncles fighting at the barbecue.
Come on, Snoop. What?
You go meet me in the backyard. I'm tired of this shit. Come on. Meet me back there, huh? Get up in there, Roy. Shit, in and out.
12-ounce gloves, not the normal 10-ounce gloves, Israel. They will blunt a little bit of the offense.
Hold on to it, Roy. Hold on to it. Don't take that. Get out of there. They're tender now. Them ribs are tenderoni.
Already a minute gone. Again, just 2-minute rounds. Mike Tyson coming forward.
Boy, look at my uncle. Look at him. Look at my uncles out there fighting in the backyard. Stop. Back up.
Hey, get bigger first. I got one.
Roy Jones Jr.
He said he's bringing his hand. I got to hold him. You got to protect yourself. Get out of there, Roy. You still got it.
Well, there's a double, triple jab with Mike Tyson. Tyson trained with famed MMA trainer, and I know Izzy, you know him very well, Rafael Cordero. And Cordero said he had to end up having shoulder surgery just holding the pads for Tyson.
I can imagine that.
That's power. Okay, come on,
Roy's trying to make him run to that right hand.
That's what he wanted to do.
Yes. Without jab.
So he put the jab out there to get that right to commit, huh?
The style of fighting of Roy Jones Jr. It does not conducive to older age, but Mike Tyson really taking
I don't
the
care.
opening round.
That was a good round. Look
Turn
at the
your
champ. You
phone.
want to sit down. Stay up there, Mike.
So he's sitting down.
Oh, he gonna sit down.
Take advantage of that. Roy can't beat Mike Tyson inside like that. You know, he needs to stay mobile.
Yes.
Double jab everything. Double jab everything. This is a player for you.
You guys drop a sub, please. They're gonna give me a copyright strike for this, hands down. I already know that shit. So if you're not subscribed, do me a solid, man. Make it worth my time. Subscribe, maybe hit the like.
It's already heavy, Snoop.
He said, you can see it coming. He said, yes, somewhat. He telling the truth. Tell it like it is, not like it was, huh?
Amen. Round number 2. And Mike Tyson explodes and delivers a left to the body and the left hook upstairs. And Roy Jones Jr. You know, he talked about facing Anderson Silva, the MMA legend. He's trying to turn this into a wrestling match.
Go ahead, Roy. Look at Roy got technique. Roy got
He better get careful now.
He's doing the right thing. He needs to get out of there.
Yeah, because he's going to make Mike mad. He's going to put it like something on him.
Mike Tyson used to be a big Evander Holyfield, which as he was on that night in '97, as Tyson, though, coming forward remains. Oh, just blocked Roy Jones with that left hand, and Jones shook it off. Trying to turn back the clock one more time.
Shit, mix it up, boy. You ain't come in to play. It's your money.
Father time undefeated. These two way past their primes, but looking for just to really get up into it. Entertain at least.
He can't let Mike get settled with the right hand.
That was a move and a half. He went real low. That was a low rider move right there. He dropped down to the floor. Oh, get out of there, Roy. Get them ribs out of there. They're going to be sirloin. Get them out of there.
Israel, what do you think of Roy Jones Jr. tactics here?
I think he's trying to get Mike Tyson by grappling with him, making him feel his way, making him frustrated as well, so that way he can make a mistake. But man, you don't want to make Mike mad.
You got to keep them ribs off that barbecue grill. They're going to be sauteed, man.
Under 30 seconds left here in the second round. Tyson digging to the body momentarily, but they might need oxygen in between rounds here as they are just leaning on each other. And again, let's not forget.
Roy, get smart,
Roy that clipped him off.
Roy, get smart. Oh, yo, Roy. Get him, Roy.
He's that jab. Mike's all he has.
Double left, and yet
That's not good.
Oh. It's like fun stuff.
Oh, wow.
That's called maturity.
Yeah, amen.
Say that. Growth and development. Say that.
Man, testify, bro.
Like that round. They was mixing it up.
Like I said, dudes, I'm gonna get a copyright strike. So, make it worth my while. Give me a sub. Maybe like the video.
And you're hearing the voice of Rafael Cordero, responsible for honing some of the skills of some of the greatest MMA strikers ever, including Ed Vanderlei. Some of it, there's Jones.
Hit him with the dart and then escape. Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake.
Get out of there. Just get out of there.
That's the rule I love right there. No look.
Right. Jones appears to be breathing a little laboriously, but Mike Tyson appears to be okay. Now comes out, moving the head a bit, trying to walk down. Jones lands the left.
This is where conditioning comes into play. Ooh, beautiful footwork from Mike Tyson.
Mike do it. He fainting now. He fainting now. He's just not walking in straight. He giving some head fakes, some leg movement.
Low output.
Good combination.
Yep.
The left hand and referee Corona walking and watching, and again Roy Jones Jr. just trying to keep it close, trying to wear down Mike Tyson potentially.
Roy's getting the better of the inside fighting at the moment.
He's smart. He's smart. That's a veteran fighter right there that knows how to wrap up and not take no big hits, but keep it in tight like that.
But is it entertaining and exciting for the viewing public?
They said it was going to be 8 rounds.
It's smart.
But normally when Mike Tyson fights, he fights tall guys, big guys.
We got a headbutt.
You got guys now with Roy, it's like the same.
Not sure. I didn't see
We've
him.
had an accidental headbutt. I heard that potentially if there was a cut, that the Ray Corona may be looking to stop it, but this so far so good here in terms of, I don't think there was a cut, obviously.
It's too good to stop.
Yeah, can't stop this kind of a cut.
You just boxing. Put some Vaseline on that thing and keep it moving.
Is that adrenaline? Oh, and there's an exchange.
A great exchange from two legends right there.
Speaking of legends, very proud to have Snoop Dogg on the broadcast as a big fan, and you're breaking it down for us, brother.
Hey, man, this is what I love. I love watching boxing. I love to be able to talk about it and be about it at the same time.
Jones avoids that punch by Tyson.
Get you some toys.
He's trying to frustrate. He's trying to frustrate. Yes, exactly. He needs to let his hands go.
Right, that's how you get points, right?
Absolutely. But you gotta be careful with those hands down.
Wise man once said, if you don't have any expectations, you will never be disappointed, and we need to temper our expectations in terms of what we will see tonight, Snoop.
Well, you know, I'm so happy that I'm seeing these guys
still have it. Like, still have the punches, still have the awareness and the know-how and the smarts inside the ring. They may not have the same velocity, the same speed, but they still got that know-how.
Yeah, they got the mind, but sometimes the body doesn't do what the mind says, right, Israel?
Definitely, I'm loving it. I'm loving it so far. They're very competitive. Good fight so far. We still have a few rounds left.
Feign it and do it off. Listen, you can do it off the feint and switch and throw it up.
Yeah, there you go. That one.
No, dude, don't call me. Get your phone, please.
You ain't doing that.
And he has a frustrated Mike.
Do he really want to frustrate Mike?
Mike's there already.
He's already across from you.
Of course, Mike Tyson would love to deliver that patented right hook to the body, followed by the right uppercut. It's done so much damage over the years, and Tyson attacking Jones.
Oh, you mean the one he's doing, the Mike Tyson punch-out video? Yeah, okay.
And he's done it in a few fights as well, as he is, I mean, that uppercut, and Jones had a very good uppercut in the day, and Jones trying to utilize the footwork, the speed, obviously nowhere close to where it was in his prime, but Jones trying to deke and juke here.
Don't worry about it, Ash.
Is really trying to frustrate him. Tyson cuts the corner.
Yeah, he does.
Cuts the ring, yeah.
Bulldog.
That's what he has to be.
Well, I feel like I'm back in my days as a pro wrestling announcer, and some of this grappling, maybe a little Muay Thai, almost a Thai plum there, is he?
Yeah, this is some Muay Thai.
Ain't nobody punking out in here. No, you hit me, I'm hitting you back. I like this. This is what I like. My uncles is getting it in. Grandma like to break this up. Grandma, they out there fighting again.
Referee Ray Corona warning Roy Jones Jr. for holding.
You know, that punch that Mike throws, that hook to the body and then uppercut, the short one, that would be effective.
Here's our unofficial scoring by the former champions.
I'm really impressed with Mike's
Oh, right in the body, another good shot. Jones mixes, and the veteran Jones hanging on now.
That's the shot.
Yeah, that's the thought.
Looking for the money shot.
Using strength, yes.
Yo, yeah, I'm streaming it right now.
Yeah, 20
Get on my
seconds
YouTube.
left in the first half of this 8-round fight again. Only 2-minute rounds.
Yeah, I know. I can't do anything about that. No. Turn your fucking phone sideways. If I turn the tripod sideways, it'll fuck everything up.
See, but only a veteran will be able to do something like that against Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I
We
start
have
streaming.
WBC former champion judges on
All right,
hand tonight, of course. Chad Dawson, Christy Martin, and Vinny Pazienza. Pazienza, by the way, infamous for not landing a punch against Roy Jones in the 4th round in their fight.
Yeah, I can't do anything about it being sideways. If I turn the tripod, it'll fuck everything up, and I'll have to, yeah, I'm not going to do that. So just turn your phones, turn your monitors, turn your fucking TVs, or turn your heads. You guys drop a sub to me, man. I'm definitely going to get a copyright strike.
And again,
So,
we're
make it worth my while.
Beat the horse here, guys, but 2 over 50-year-olds, what do you expect in terms of conditioning and stuff?
Well, I know I am on the basketball court. In my early days, I could play like 5.
Yeah, hopefully we get to see someone get KO'd. That'd be cool. I mean, I hope both these guys are okay at the end of it. You know what I mean? A couple of legends, but...
No, Roy, he's not looking as confident.
Oh, the referee encouraging them 2 legends. Look sharp up there. Well, there's a sharp shot by Mike Tyson, the sharpshooter in this fight. But
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Tyson avoids that punch.
Lord, don't let him have a flashback. Precious Lord, please don't let him have a flashback.
Coming up on the midpoint around 5, and again, rattling Roy Jones. Jones ducking down and just wants to close the gap, wants to clinch here, is he? And Tyson wants to create some separation.
Keep it gangster right now. Go ahead, Roy.
Okay, there you go.
It's just conditioning. That's the only thing he's just leaking is conditioning.
Well, Ray, we talked about it. There's a difference between being in physical shape, cosmetic shape. Tyson looked great on the pads, over 100-pound weight loss, but fighting shape is another thing, and here they are. Last minute of the 5th. They're heading to 10 minutes already of action, and that may not be saying a lot, but it is a lot, crazy. It takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, definitely.
It takes a great deal.
With another man is way on you. When he has him
Oh,
on
there's that
You see that shot?
Tyson.
That was a shot.
That was a Mike Tyson picking off Roy Jones Jr.
Dave?
There's another jab by Roy Jones Jr.
Get out of there, though. Get out of there, Roy. Get out of there.
On the ropes, and there again, the veteran move by Joey. I know what any
What you
mistake.
mean?
Mike
Uncles
Tyson.
is out there fighting right now.
Yeah.
They fight like men. I like that. They fight like grown men.
Take a step back.
Kids at home, y'all watch this. This is two grown men fighting right here. This is how you have to do it.
Tyson tries to drop shot. Mike Tyson trying to deliver.
Way to stay down, Roy. Way to stay down, Roy. Shit.
stand your ground.
He in there with the champ, man. He's squad.
Here comes Tyson.
No, you ain't bleeding, Roy.
Yeah, dude.
He just rolled up a little bit.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
We gotta
Now
draw
I'm
that.
tough.
I think Roy's time to fill the
I gotta keep saying it. I can't say it enough. Drop a like, subscribe. They're gonna copyright strike me and all that other shit YouTube does, so make it worthwhile for me, man.
Former 4 Division champion made history again. Guys, he weighed 193 pounds when he defeated John Ruiz for the heavyweight title. Old school, Rocky Marciano did it.
More of a light heavyweight than a real natural heavyweight.
Exactly. Well, he was, moved down to face Antonio Tarver after he called up Mike Tyson 17 years ago.
Let's look good, man.
If he dies, he dies.
And we're in round number 6, scheduled for
Yep.
8 in this boxing exhibition.
Look like Mike got him in range right now. He didn't finally sized him up and got him right in range where he wanted him at.
And of course, no surprise.
Appreciate you.
The punch stats a shell of what they were in their prime, but Tyson
Ooh.
just on the bad line.
Yeah, Roy will not allow Mike to run a combination on him. Every time he get ready to run a combination, he locked him up.
And he should.
But he's smart enough to know that.
If he doesn't throw punches back,
Battered him with the right hand to the body.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Again comes in and Izzy, I know. Mike Tyson, the bigger guy, Roy Jones, clinching, smothering, has to find a way to use that jab. Keep Tyson at distance.
Yeah, right there, the dog. Whenever he throws that in his face, like Snoop said, you have to put a little bit more body behind it. You can't just defect him away. You have to put your weight behind it.
Give him some.
but the thing about it with Roy's doing the right thing, but he has to punch. He has to throw punches.
Well, that's the name of the game. He's beginning to fatigue, but still standing in there. It's all naked and right up.
Get out the way.
And that just missed Roy Jones Jr.
Stick by that much.
Go, work, man. Come on, go.
I still can't believe it's this happening, guys. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. Izzy, what's life, brother?
It's like you was playing chess right there.
Also, it's more elusive than the other bigger heavyweights that Tyson has faced.
Yeah, he got way more footwork.
Exactly.
He's way more athletic.
Emmanuel Stewart, the estimable late trainer, said knockout sell. I know everyone tuning in, hoping to see a knockout. But there's Roy Jones Jr. popping on Tyson's face.
Good shit. I like that. That's a bunny hop in a pea patch.
Who are you doing that? You're fucking doing great. You take that. You gotta keep your hands up though, baby. Yeah. There you go. Run one. I think we need to go 15 if we got it.
Between the broadcast and
Yo,
the
are you
fights,
watching
we're
this?
hearing more cuss words than Glenn
All right,
Gary.
perfect.
All we need is Samuel Jackson for commercials and we good.
Oh, you did?
Ooh, made him miss. Trying to make him pay. Look at the way he cut the angle on that. That is so slick.
That's skill.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah.
He still got it. Look at him
And still
walking
get
around
smoked.
playing like he used
All right,
to.
bro. I was just checking.
That's the old Roy.
Understand?
Yeah.
Keep doing it, baby.
Man, I'm proud of both these fighters tonight, man. They really making me proud of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, it's, dude, it's so hard. You know, Tyson's the GOAT in my mind, but you can't count out Roy Jones Jr.
Looking good, Mike. Looking good, Roy.
Shout out to Jersey Joe for one. But as now Tyson touches him.
He's amazing. All right, I'm gonna get off here, dude.
This round.
All right, peace.
Round at number 7, Mario Ranallo along with Hall of Famer Sugar Ray Leonard, undefeated UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya, the one and only, the Dogfather, hip-hop OG Snoop Dogg, and look at this.
Get out of there. Get out of that goddamn corner.
Stop. No.
Don't make it handle these box.
Thanks, you guys. Hey, man, subscribe to me.
Jim Gray hosted by Mario Lopez, and what an eclectic team on this eclectic night. Tyson and Roy Jones Jr.
I hope so. Hope we get somebody sleeping.
Are you guys thinking the referee should break it up sooner, Israel? You content with the clinch?
Because he already knows what he's going to do, what his tactic is. So definitely let them box.
Oof.
Under a minute left in the 7th.
Back him off.
Again, it's an exhibition, hard sparring. We're seeing some hard shots.
Can I have a side or a short ribs?
Yes. With some Mike Tyson also. Short rib shots hurt. They can take all your value.
Fatigue setting in for Roy Jones Jr. Wants to turn back the clock, but the clock is maybe started ticking here in terms of speed. He is just leaning in on Mike Tyson, and again, I'm sure people are saying, well, what do you expect with a 54-year-old and 51-year-old? But Mike Tyson is ready.
That shot looks like that shot hurt to the midsection of Roy.
Roy trying to land that left, trying to get those feet under him.
See?
Okay, I think we're coming up on the 8th round. Coming up on the 8th round, guys.
They try to figure it out. 2 minutes ain't enough time. By the time we get to the minute and 30 seconds, it's too late.
And in his prime, Jones, known for his unique and unorthodox
Yeah.
style, defying many
Yeah,
of boxing's
Jake Paul slept that other dude fast as fuck.
old tradition. Emphasis on the old with a 54-year-old
Yeah.
Tyson, 51-year-old Jones, and we are...
You guys do me a favor, subscribe if you haven't, drop a like, please. I'm gonna get a copyright strike. They're gonna fuck me up on YouTube for this.
I just feel like one punch could end this fight if they actually get it, in range. They're trying to find each other's range right now, but it ain't really working out.
You need to fucking give me a minute on leave right here. Last minute kick, you hear me? You gotta win this fight.
Hey man, it's all love, dude. I appreciate you watching.
Taking it very seriously.
And win the round. You hear me?
Cussing like a sailor.
I think we're in the 8th right now, man. Final round.
Sailing for Roy Jones Jr. in this fight. And I use the term fight loosely, an exhibition.
For some reason, this ring looks a little smaller than the average rings I see.
It does look small.
They did that just to get a little bit more action.
Okay, because I'm like, you can't run in this ring.
Here comes Tyson. And we saw a lot of action throughout the night.
This is the 8th round, final round.
This is the reason we're here tonight, Snoop Dogg. These legends, wow.
They both got off on that.
Tyson, though, holding up.
Get out there, Roy! Get out, Roy! Boy, this is a hell of a fight right here. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr.
A minute left in this, well, maybe not the battle of the ages, the battle of the aged, but it is an exhibition, and Roy Jones Jr.
I'm gonna report this. What a fucking hater.
Roy got a bunch of padlocks. What do you got? About 100 padlocks to left ankle. Every time he get range. Can't be that padlock. He's in range.
But it's Tyson who appears to have those keys to victory. 30 seconds, and again, bettering the body.
That was straight right there. That was straight.
Being inactive for a couple of years or 15 years is not easy.
15 years after Mike Tyson quit on the stool, nearly 3 years after Roy Jones Jr. extended his win streak to 4 years. They are going to go the distance in this 8-round exhibition.
Hats off to both men. 51 years old.
Come on, man. 10 seconds left in the last round. That's it, boys. That's it. The last fight either two of these dudes will ever have, I think. Hey, man. Subscribe to me, please. YouTube's gonna fuck me up. You know how they do. Copyright and shit.
So, Israel, it was an exhibition. Obviously, we don't want to expect too much, but what did you think of what you saw?
I loved it. I love the fact that they were able to stay competitive the whole way. Roy using his craftiness with the grappling, with tying up the head, getting Mike first hand, and Mike able to still break loose with his head movement, miss shots and make him pay. Classic.
Ray, do you want to come back?
Do I want to come back?
64, you look like you're 34.
No, if I could fight you.
Oh, let's go. Snoop Dogg, the referee. All seriousness, Ray, what do you think of what we witnessed tonight?
Appreciate you, dudes. Appreciate you a lot. Thank you.
Snoop, did it deliver what you expected?
Hey, man, when I was a kid, 54 and 51 was old men with rocking chairs. So to see them out there doing their thing, that was a lot to aspire to. I was so honored to be here to see it. I know both of these guys.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Thank you.
Y'all did great tonight.
And a pleasure for you to bring the entertainment, my man, dropping the knowledge, and such a pleasure here tonight as Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. sharing the ring in the year of our Lord 2020.
Yes, sir.
Mauricio Suleiman is going to present both with the frontline battle belts again. No official decision, but WBC will announce a winner if there is one. And I believe Mike Tyson should get the decision, right, Snoop?
Yeah, he did that. He outworked Roy, but Roy put a great fight, and he did his thing, took some big shots, and he gave a lot of great shots. I like the way he moved around. Like you said, he was crafty, he was sharp, he was woody. He showed us signs of the old Roy Jones Jr. tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great night of sports and entertainment, courtesy of GES Boxing and Triller.
This fight was sad. Yeah, man. Lackluster for sure.
Adesanya, sports broadcast star Mauro Romano, six-time world champion, Hall of Fame legend Sugar Ray Leonard, and a little help from Mr. Snoop Dogg, plus IBF. International Boxing Hall of Famer Jim Gray. And Jim Gray will be with our two superstars here in the ring in just a few moments, discussing the WBC's scoring and opinions on this fight. And we'll see how they saw it. So, ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We've got more coming.
They did that. I'm proud of them.
You just don't know until you get into that ring. You can look great in the gym. You get into that ring, it's a whole different animal.
But it's not like sparring, right? Because the guy you sparring with kind of like you. He's your friend. He can't hit you too hard because you may not pay him. But that guy across the ring right now?
Oh, come on. Yes.
Maybe we can book you and Snoop for WrestleMania, maybe.
Wrestle?
Wrestling? Come on. A little wrestling?
You wrestle?
We had a little wrestling.
We go tag team. Me and Sugar Ray go tag team.
Yeah.
I have the first 4 minutes.
I'll take over.
Do you still stay in the gym, Ray? Are you still in the gym doing some boxing?
Ray's still getting it, man. He's still getting it.
That's what keeps me going.
Right. Keep me sharp.
Keep me sharp, exactly.
Stay focused.
I love the feeling right now they will both be feeling as relief. A sense of relief, like, yeah, we did that. Right. I know that feeling. Right after a fight, whether win or lose, you just have the sense of, like, yes, we did that. And, man, like I said, hats off to these two gentlemen, because that was epic. It wasn't for me just to see this nostalgia.
Oh, man. Rip.
Hats off to you, brother. What is this your first time doing fight commentary?
Oh man, I'm a virgin at this.
Amen.
Anymore.
Amen. Very
That's
good
what
job.
she said.
That fake laugh because Snoop said something. You gotta laugh when Snoop talks, right?
Have another night like this.
That's a classic, man. It's a classic.
Yeah, it is,
Instantly.
man. Shout out to the people that put this together, man. All of the great minds, the people behind the scenes. They don't ever get no credit, so we want to give them a shout out right now.
And what about the marriage of hip-hop and boxing? I mean, real deal Holyfield,
We've
Mr.
been together. We've been married, you know what I'm saying? It just so happens that it's just finally being able to be, you know, broadcast and highly touted and being able to, you know, bring both worlds together, because we've always been complimentary, you know. Every time a fight happens, you know, we usually perform and we usually at the fight watching the fight.
Absolutely, yes.
All right.
That's what it's about.
Thank you, Snoop. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Morrow, thank you very much. Well, the scorecards of this exhibition, according to the former WBC
Here we go, boys.
champions, is a draw.
A draw.
Mr. Tyson,
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Sure.
you think you won the fight?
Yeah, but I'm good with a draw.
Why?
Because I entertained the crowd. The crowd was happy with it.
We'll be back to you in a second. Are you happy with this draw?
Yeah, no, I ain't never satisfied with a draw. I wear draws. I don't do draws. I like it. But the dude is so strong, man. And I understand why they say some things are bucket list. Because when he hits you, if it's his head, his punches, his body shots, don't matter. Everything hurts. So for me, I thought I did enough boxing on the outside to edge it out, but you know, I'm cool with a draw. I mean, we just might have to try to do it again. But I don't know.
You looked exhausted for a little while. Did the body shot stay?
Come on, dude.
And I knew it too. I thought I had a 6-pack that was right, but I guess I might give me a 12-pack. But the 6 ain't getting
Came back like nothing.
You guys, 550 people in here. You guys drop me a subscribe, a like, all that shit. They're gonna fuck me up on YouTube. They do when you do shit like this. They'll copyright me and shit like that.
15 years. How would you assess your performance, your stamina, and overall how you perform?
Well, I'm used to doing it for 3 minutes, and sometimes that 2 minutes felt like
It's
3
a
minutes.
fucking draw.
And I'm just happy I got this under my belt and I'll continue to go further and do more.
You'll do this again.
650.
Absolutely. He's gonna be in the card as well.
Well, let me ask you about your performance. What was it like for you to be in the ring as compared to what it was when you left as a professional?
I was very happy to be here, and
Despite performance-wise.
yeah, despite what anybody said, I was so happy to go to 8 rounds. That everybody knows I can knock somebody out. That everybody knows I can go 8 rounds.
All they'll do is give you a strike that expires in 30 days. That's good to know, man. Thank you.
I'm not supposed to mean nothing. You gotta be able to go the distance. That's fighting.
Everybody has a plan until they get hit. You got hit, and how did it affect you?
I went to plan B. I hit him back.
All right.
Roy, you want to continue this now at age 51, or did you get dissatisfied at this point?
Man, it's hard to say. My Pensacola fans love me.
They called it a draw.
Everybody loves Mike. I love Mike too. But you know, it's something to take them punches in them from Mike. So you know, I go talk to my family, see how they feel about it. If they thought they enjoyed what they saw, then if we want to do it again, we'll come back and do it again. But you know me, like I said, Pensacola in the house. I want to thank everybody who helped me out. Big Al, Tom, Russ, everybody on my team, Jim Foster. I mean, so many people, everybody in Pensacola in the house still. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank the whole world for tuning in, especially my Russian citizens, my Russian people. I want to say thank you to everybody who gave us the homage, sent us out.
Yeah, they called it a draw. They called it a draw, boys.
But people were afraid, Roy, you might get hurt tonight. Were you really afraid in the back of your head that something could happen?
Glad I didn't buy it. Well, I fucking did.
He only stopped fighting for 3 years. I'm afraid I might get. Why nobody care about my ass?
Well, that's typical, right?
He was fighting 15 years. He stopped fighting 3 years ago, and everybody worried about his ass.
Nobody thinks that a giant is going to fall.
I haven't did this in 15, 16 years. I'm not a giant. I'm a beginner.
Did he ever hurt you tonight?
Well, listen, he surprised me with the hook. He hit me with a hook, a good hook. Yes, it did hurt.
And back to the question: were you afraid of being in peril?
Man, once I go in there, it's all balls to the wall, bro. I mean, I feel the shots, and I know they're gonna hurt, and I know he could take me out if it's possible to keep with the wrong one. But for me, man, I'm game. I go to the end. When I put these on, it's a wrap. Take me on the stretcher. You know?
Final thought. Would you do this in a non-exhibition circumstance if you could get a license?
No, I'm just going to do this. This is bigger than fighting for, winning the championship. We're humanitarians. We're helping people. That's bigger. I'm into that now. And I like to thank Magic Mike, Jet, Ron, all my sparring partners for kicking my ass to get me in shape. I love you guys. Can't wait to get back in the gym with you.
Mike, thank you. Enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.
You guys, if only half of you drops me a sub, I'll get up over 1,000 subs. That would be fucking dope.
In his building.
Yes, sir.
So help me out if you can.
Kobe, because he was my latest greatest. Michael Jordan always be my number one favorite, but Kobe and Iverson right there next, second and third. So, and LeBron, too, everybody's good. So I just enjoy sports, man. I just thank God I was able to come out here and do what I did. And like I said, once again, Pensacola in the house, and if Pensacola tell me to go back in there again, guess what? I'm back in there again.
Thank you, Roy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, they're gonna take this down for sure, bro.
Mario, back to you.
Thank you so much, Jim. Big thanks again to Mike and Roy for a great night, and thank you to the WBC for providing the scorecard for the.
Yeah, they called the fight at a draw.
The production is going to be making a donation to the WBC Jose Suleiman Boxers Fund, supporting boxing's retired heroes who have fallen into hard times. On behalf of the entire crew of Triller,
Yeah, they called it a draw.
Thank you so much, everyone at home watching, and of course, thanks to all the fighters and performers tonight. Be safe, enjoy the rest of this holiday weekend. Good night, and God bless.
Yeah, Roy Jones looked tired, super tired.
Dude, he did not throw as many punches.
Alright, you guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for subbing. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed the free shit.